Anyway, so after we clean and everything, you know, you want to do like because we went outside and all that shit, so we just want to give it an extra clean. Not extra clean, but you just want to get rid of all the dust that is in the on top of the car, because you know any dust just flies around. And you just want to do, just want to squeeze it. You just want to make sure that all this water on top of the roof just goes down as well.
Is that just only water or hot water?
Just water with a bit
Solution?
of sleep solution, which is baby shampoo. Yeah. Now this gel is a different application. It's like just sleep solution, but I like to use gel and sleep solution as well.
What's the point of the gel?
It's just like that's the same thing. Like
Better application.
yeah, better application.
What type of gel?
It's
Hair gel?
no, it's just like
Yeah, right.
like a brand gel for paint protection.
Hand sanitizer gel? Or?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Similar, it's not that. You just want to use that. And then you want to use again a bit of soap water on top.
Why you have to put two?
Just to make it more slippery.
No.
And then, so you have to put it.
And then spray it as you go.
Yeah. You've been watching the video, can you?
Sí, por favor.
Is that all done? Wait. And then just grab this one. You don't have to, you don't have to, you don't have to.
Just one
Just
person.
grab that one. No, the other hand. Grab that one. Yeah. Hold this one.
Grab the white part.
Slowly. Because you're going to spray it as you go.
Keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Make it tight on that side. Yeah, like that. Keep it like that. And just spray soapy water again.
So then nothing gets stuck to it.
Yeah. Keep going. Hold it. Yep, keep
ก็พยายาม
going.
ไม่
Fill it
เห็น
up, the whole
ไม่
thing.
ให้เห็นตัวคิต
Grab
ตี้
it,
นะคะ
And then you just spray the whole thing like that. And then you guys might have to move a little bit to Chris is gonna go that way.
Wait, one sec. I'm going out. Yep.
Yeah, go this way. Try to fit it in first. Keep it up. Fit it in first. Yeah. That's right.
Oh, it's just more.
It's not gonna be small after that. It will be perfect.
Is it? Hang on a minute.
Yes.
Okay. And what you do is you just want to spray a bit of water on top. Sorry if I wedge you. And then just grab your squeegee.
Is down two? Down two? I can.
No, just leave it. I'll show you this. How I do it, yeah? So just jump on top of the car.
ฉันจะถ่ายถึงนี้
Then you squeegee, you have to squeegee the middle part first, just to tuck it in. But then, this is the problem because we don't have template. You have to kind of like cut it. Shit. Where's my-
Once you squeeze the water, it sticks.
I'll get another one.
So then what you want to do is you just want to make an incision here in the middle.
Incision surgery.
อย่าไปซูมมันดิมันไม่ชัดเพราะมันมืด
You just want to get up to here. You just have to be careful. You don't scratch the car when you cut it.
เส้นมันเป็นอย่างเงี้ยมันเคยแทงคนคือแบบ
พี่คนไม่เป็นไรนะตรงนี้เวลามาเอาเข้าขาแล้วก็ได้
Then in this one,
อุ้ยที่หาเทียนออกจอย
kind of like cutting it around and just fitting it through slowly. Because again, if we have a template for like on the computer card, it will be easier Now in this one,
ปรับมาให้แล้วแล้วมันปรับให้เรียบร้อยแล้วก็
because I just cut there. If you want to show here, it's kind of like fitting already properly. So I can squeeze this part. You want to do strokes, like one stroke, but then you kind of like, you will see it because you guys cannot see it right now, but the water makes too much here. So you want to do, instead of going like this, you want to re-squeeze in the middle where you already squeeze, if that makes sense. So squeeze here, and instead of going here, you squeeze it again. You squeeze it kind of like, you have to make sure that all the water, all the gel is out of the film. Because that's when it comes like bubbles, like drying spots. Luckily in this one, because it's textured, like because
you
it's
see it.
carbon fiber, you cannot see it. But still, you want to get rid of all that water.
So pretty much the purpose of squeezing is to dry it.
Okay.
Looks nice.
When you're cutting, you always want to get a fresh blade. Because if you feel like you're not cutting through the PPF, you're gonna have troubles ripping it off. So what I do is just I make kind of like incision, and then with my nail, I kind of like try to tear it off. I score the film first. This one is a bit thick because it's textured again. And then kind of like rip it off with my nail. And try to fit it in. Here. Sorry, Christy. Sorry, man.
That's gonna be easy.
Knock it up here. Now I have to reposition this because it's gonna have a gap
Zoom in ได้ไหม
at the bottom. So I want to make sure that that gap is kind of like
มันไม่ใช่กล้องมันเป็น
But do you see how after he squeezes it sticks? เอาน้ำออก
this is
Spit the water.
it's kind of like next to the gel as well. Gel is more like it gives you that application of like sticks better. Shit.
That's the hard part.
Can I get my shopping water, Christian?
Which
Water,
one?
The blue one.
This one?
The
So
small one. The small one.
Somebody wants it.
I'm trying to spray it now. I'm good.
It's like applying compact on the books, textbooks, but this is with water.
But then sometimes because you get all these wrinkles, you just kind of like have to work it out. As if you just delete in the wrinkles, and then luckily because the film is stretchy, you can stretch the film again and kind of like get rid of those wrinkles. Like that. And then you just keep moving this forward.
So the bubble together.
Yeah. So with gel, you wanna kind of like work quicker because gel makes this stick more. Right? You have to always check that there's no bubbles behind less. So you just give more slip solution, a bit of stretch.
squishing or sweat on it.
Now, not many people know this trick,
But we're gonna.
but hot water, when you spray in the film, it makes it more stretchy.
Yeah,
So you want to spray
เข้าใจ
on top of it,
ความร้อน
and then for these corners, you just want to spray a little bit underneath, and then you just kind of like stretch it. This is called like corner stretching. So you're stretching like this way, and then you're making it like a mirror, like this. Can you see it? So what you want to do is you want to stretch in that corner and wrap it around like this.
so it's gonna be a
To make it
line
smooth.
So it's gonna make it not smooth, but PPF is different to vinyl. This is kind of like a vinyl trick, like wrap vinyl. Yeah, but you apply this on PPF and it works out because you want to wrap these corners.
and
So
then
the
you're gonna
corner
see
now
the
is
line
wrapped.
there so
Why? Because
We
the
stretched it.
stretch makes it hug that corner. Yeah. So it's already wrapped. Even though I do this, it's still gonna be wrapped that corner. And then you kind of want to do the same here. Show you.
Did you like this pen?
Sorry guys, you work away.
Don't worry.
And then
We'll
this
just
here.
learn.
Film. And again. A bit of stretch. And then you kind of push it in.
Right, yeah.
And then you just keep it there for a little bit. So
it's
when you
gonna
squeeze
stay,
it,
it's gonna
It
take
stays-
shape
Yeah.
yeah, when you squeeze it, that corner is gonna hug.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
hugging already.
it takes shape
So like that. Then you just wanna get rid of these.
Don't worry. It's not like you're gonna be doing this by yourself later. So it's gonna be many of us working on one car.
Gonna keep pushing that. And then now it's gonna be much easier to put all this down. Then
Yeah.
the corners is wrapped, like the corners is hugged. So it's gonna be much easier to do it like that. In this one, in the ridge, just wanna lift it up a little bit, push it in. Lift it up a little bit, you push it in. Lift it up, push it in, push it in, push it in. So in that way,
In other words,
When
you're
you're gonna-
tucking it in.
you're tucking it a little bit. So in that way, when you're gonna cut this, you just grab your knife, and then you don't gonna cut in there. You're just gonna cut 2 millimeters on this side, in this panel. So in that way, you grab. I'll show you with the mini squeegee. You just push it in, and it's gonna wrap around. It's gonna look like a flawless wrap.
You're not gonna see it out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, do you see why I cut myself so easily?
Yeah, you stab yourself too. He calls me one day, he's like, oh, I stabbed myself. Okay.
All this excess material, we're gonna let it dry, and then we cut it. I'll show you guys how to do that after. Still soon. So this is kind of like how can you wrap vinyl? But this is like a wet application. Vinyl is the same thing, but you just don't
It's
use any
dry.
water. It's same principles, but you just don't use any water.
You just use your heat gun to stretch it.
Okay. In here, I just want to make a little cut. So because of this corner,
Reflection.
I want to push it inside here. Like that.
Just to hide it, yeah.
Just to hide it properly. That's why, now many people, that's what I did. Take the trims off this and wrap it all the way inside. Usually people just wrap it up to here. And then just
we're
make the
gonna
cut here.
Set like a myth.
But then
Half a
you're
million.
still gonna be able to see the car paints, the paint job.
No, that's awesome. Oh, why is it like this?
Just shit car.
Yo, that's shit. If I could just swallow a dick or
That's why all the water.
how's it looking so far, Ben? Do you think you can do this? Nah, you just need to practice. Someone like AJ.
But do you see, like, the finish of this film? I like it. And why? The other thing is,
bubble?
because the ceramic coating of the film, look how the water beats. Do you see all the, it beats quickly. In here, in the paint job, it doesn't beat, the water stays. So that has a ceramic coating layer all the water beads quickly.
Look at it, it's green up.
You know what I mean? So you can just easily do this and all the water's gone. There's no problem. So in the rain and all this, but your car's still protected, you know? So now after this, what you want to do is you just want to dry your whole panel.
You know what?
You just want to dry your whole panel.
A section in this job is called a panel.
This car has, you know, different panels, yeah?
This is one panel.
So this is called the boot, the rear quarter, rear door, front door. The one at the front next to the wheel is the fender. Bubbles usually take up to 1 week to dry, but they will go away. What you don't want to do is maybe you don't want to leave bubbles in the clear paint protection. This one is okay because you know not many people is gonna see it, and if there's a bubble, let's say it's a dry bubble inside, it's not gonna show too much.
How do you know it's dry or wet?
There's a difference between, like, you know, you can see the water. That's why when you put your paint protection,
Or you can also get a needle and
the
pop
clear
it.
one, yeah, you can get a needle and you just pop it and you get out of the water, like you get the water out. But again, you just don't want to do that because you know you're still poking the film. So now you can see there's not many, there's not many bubbles or anything. So that's pretty good. Another thing in this one, when you do the stretch, you just don't want to overstretch it. Why? Because if you overstretch this, the carbon, it lose the pattern. That's right. You know what I mean? Because this is pattern, so the lines are perfect.
Imagine a photo and you zoom in a lot.
Not zooming, but you cannot stretch it and then you just go like this.
It just gets blurry.
You don't want to do that. Yeah. You can do that in vinyl, of course, because vinyl just doesn't have any texture. But when we're doing these sort of jobs, we just want to make sure that, again, another thing is like, you know, when we do quoting, yeah, if we're gonna quote a car that has a lot of recess and all that shit, I'm sorry, mate, we cannot do that carbon fiber. You have to do maybe vinyl, yeah. But all this shit, we just learn it with time, so it should be fine. A bit, because we don't need these. And just cut all these. That's in the bin. And then we can start pushing this inside with the squeegee again. So now what I was saying about cutting here, you just have to make sure how far you have to tuck it in, yeah? So I'm guessing, if you don't want to guess, you can just always lift up and check how far can you tuck it in. So you say, okay, I can tuck in like at least 2 millimeters. So you cut kind of like 2 millimeters on top of the panel. And just core the film. Now, there is there you go. There is this tucking tools, they come in micro squeegees. So you can just use that to tuck inside. This one is a hard one, this one is a soft one. So usually this is for vinyl, but I use it for PPF as well. But I like to use the hard one just to, you know, just give it a kind of like a push, and then you just push that film inside there, and then you kind of like get like a flawless finish there. Like just get tucked in.
Can't see.
That's it.
It's the camera.
But now what I want to do is I want to use a bit of steam on that. But I think that's all pretty much about it, you know.
Now it's just cutting and then proceeding it.
Now just cutting, proceeding,
That's it.
trimming. So when you're cutting and you hit this squeaking thing, that's what you want to hear, because you know that you're not cutting through the paint, but you're scoring the film. And then what you do is when you get to like this thing, you just kind of like cut.
Cut
Out.
outwards.
Cut. Because the film is already scored, so you should cut like. So that's it.
Don't you need a steamer?
No, you can just use these. Obviously, it's pretty shit cut, so then you just trim it off later when it's dry.
That's if you want it. But either way, no one's gonna
This
see
gets
it.
covered anyways, but
Yeah.
you know you want to give it a good finish, so
But no one's gonna see it
just in
anyway.
case, just in case.
You don't have to waste your time doing it.
So that's it, pretty much. Everything.
Push it. Fuck.
Yeah, I did that too.